what do I need? I want to check whether I have I have already, database of few the names. Suppose I'm going with Saurav, then I'm going with the another name called Shankar, then I'm going with another name called Sid. Another name that I have is Parul. So there are couple of names. Suppose I have written 4 names over here. So I want to check whether the name that user is entering is available in this list or not. And I'm saying this is a list because capital brackets are used, right? Capital brackets are used. Okay. So I'll enter some name. I'll check whether the queue that user has entered is available in W or not. So for that we have command called, I have taken a variable called res is equal to, there's a command called q in W. So this in command gives you the access, or maybe you can say it helps you to actually search something inside a list. Okay, so q will be searched, the value of or amount of information of q will be searched in W. Okay, and then print res, save, enter your name, hello, let me check, hello was the answer, and it is false because hello is not available. Let me run this program once again. If I'll write here star, so true, it's true is coming up, right? So true and false are the logics, and they do not require single quotes basically. So I want to write a message if res is equal to true. So in Python, however, in C language or other languages, those who knows this syntax is quite good for you in Python. Otherwise, who are very very beginner or fresher in this programming language, so you need to deal with the couple of small maybe I would say the syntax, taking care of this syntax is the main issue for you now, for at least the next one day, right? So if you'll write at least 5 to 10 10 to 20 different programs, you'll be habitual of using those things, right? So these bracket that we have already seen will be used for dictionary. That's why these bracket will never be used in Python. So we have got another logic of writing the program called as syntax. Okay, so if res is equal to true, then colon. After writing a colon, after if statement, if you'll type colon, if you'll enter here, it will automatically take a gap of one tab. One tab space gap is coming up. Okay, here if I'll write print within singleton comma, we are writing like if res is true, means your name is available. Wonderful, right? You can type any message. Else print, again for else also we have this semicolon. Okay, so if is there, the condition is this, else the opposite condition is coming up, then we can write like not available or entry is not available. Okay, so I'll save this program and I'll run it once again. Enter your name, SOR is available, that's why wonderful is coming up. Okay, let me run this program again. I'll write QWERTY false, entry is not available. Understood? Any problem, anyone?
Sir,
No,
like,
sir.
sir, when we use C++, sir, then sir, we can use all the syntax of C in C++, sir, but that is not the case in all other languages.
No, it's not like that. See, in our language also, this syntax is quite same. For MATLAB also, this syntax is quite same. Understood? I'm not telling you 100%. It will be a same syntax, but yes, many syntax will be same. In VLSI, in VLSI domain, there are two languages. which I personally know, those are VHDL and Verilog, right? For both the languages, there are different syntax. Okay, so syntax means your own set of rules to write your program. So Python had developed their own rules. Python did not copy, the rules which have been designed in C and C++. Understood, na? Shall we go ahead now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want.
Thank you, sir.
So I was running this program again and again. So I want to run this program automatically for 5 times, so that I should not run this program again and again to check whether the entry which I am entering right now is available in the list or not, right? So what I'll do, I'll just keep an entire program, or else this program where, because this thing will be always static, right? So after this, you need to get the user input and must be compared. If comparable or comparable result will be true, then it will be a message like wonderful. Otherwise, entry is not available or acceptable or not visible in the list. This message will be coming up. Okay, so this entire data must be coming under a loop. So you can use loop like while. So while there is a variable, I have initiated this variable with the value called 0, right? So if I is less than 5, again after while also colon will be coming. So the purpose of using colon would be that you need to maintain the space of one tab for each line of code, then whichever you want to take inside while. So I want to take all the lines of code under while itself. So I'll be selecting all the lines, and that what I'll do, I'll just hold, I'll just press a keyboard button called control, and then I'll be pressing closing curly braces together, right? It will be shifting towards right side. It will be, for you, it can be control or alt option, right? For Windows people. So if you'll be I'll be selecting it once again. I'll show you once again. If you'll type it, if you'll press your curly braces, closing curly braces or capital braces, then this will be going in right side with one tab. If you'll be pressing opening braces, then it will be coming back. This is your shortcut method. Otherwise, what you can do, you can directly type tab. You can type tab. Okay, this is how manually you can do it also, right? So entire code has come under this while. Now I is initiated with 0. The condition has been checked for while. If while I is less than 5, let us make the condition also for I to increment by 1, I plus 1. Here you cannot write I plus plus, minus minus. These operators are not available, right? So let me save it and run it. So it will run for 5 times automatically. I would not run it once again. So SOR, it is available, that's why true is coming up, and wonderful was the message. Okay, now let's talk about SID, true, wonderful, Parul, wonderful, what was that? Let me see, Shankar. Okay, Shankar, wonderful. Let me write something randomly. Entry is not available. However, it's not giving you the error. Okay, why it's not giving you error? Because whatever you are entering is the form of string, right? And you can type anything in a string, which is a combination of characters along with the numbers. Okay, so is that okay? Shall I go ahead now? Do you have any question? How to terminate the endless loop in Ideally? So you can you have two options. Let me show you how. What if I'll write here 1? 1 means infinite loop. You don't need to initiate any particular variable here, and no condition for variable to increment. Suppose this is the condition. While 1 means infinite loop, right? So let me save it and run it now. So what I will enter, it will be the continuous loop. Okay, so how to exit this? Either you can close this terminal, you can close this command prompt, or else you can press Control C. Control C. Control C is the shortcut to halt your current program. Okay, so it will give you the keyboard interrupt. Here the keyboard interrupt is coming up, and the command was Control C from your keyboard. Okay, then let me tell you the another loop that we have available as for loop. For how many times do we need to run this program? Suppose 10 times or 2 times. So for I in range, this is the command, right? So range gives you the range from where to where, right? From this location to that location you want to run this program. So it is quite easy to use for loop in Python. However, it is very difficult to understand in C, C++ that within for the bracket of 4, what do you need to write is initiation, condition, and incrementation, maybe the decrementation, whatsoever, right? And comma, semicolon, many things, right? So for loop here in Python is quite easy. Range gives you a range perfectly, right? So from 0 to 5, which means it will run for 5 times, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, not for 5, because always range means upper value will not be considered. Okay, so for I in range 0 to 5, so value of I will be keep on changing for every iteration of for loop. Initially the value will start from 0. So the meaning of this line is I will start from I will start from 0, and the value of this range will be coming to this variable, right? And it will be running continuously. Okay, so let me run this program after saving the program. Okay, sorry, comma, right? So 1, 2, 3 SOR, because there was capital letter, Parul Sid, and enter. See, after 5 operations or iterations, this program has got completed. Okay, so what if you want to take a different range? So 0 to 50 if you want to run, you want to run it for 50 times. Suppose you want to run it for 50 times, but you want to take a gap of 5. So this middle value will let you know what is the gap of this particular value. Understood now? Understood? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this step will be coming. Let me write it here. Okay, so how many times it will be coming up? 25 times. So initially the value of I would be 0, next time I would be 2, next time I would be 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like that. It will be running till 50. Okay, if you want to take more bigger number here, suppose I have written 10, so it will run for 10 times only, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, is that okay everyone? Now this program is running, so you want to keep, you want to exit from this program, so you can keep you can press this particular interrupt from keyboard. Okay, Control C, and if it will not be working in one single shot, right, if it will not be working with the one single shot, so you can start keep on pressing the same buttons again and again, so that processor should be coming back to the original calculation, right? Okay, so this is what is going on. This is what is going on, where we have studied the importance of this list, importance of logic development, or this is called as conditional statement also. Here we have understood the type of syntax that we need to use here, and we have seen while loop and for loop both. Here we have understood how to write write the parameter inside the range also, how to take user input of string type from the users, right? How to check something in a queue or in a list, and based on that you can make the conditions. So is that okay everyone? With this single example, I hope few things would be cleared, as the topic suggests for discussing about conditional statement, looping, and data types, operators, syntax, execution of the program, how to execute this program or run this program, how to save the program. All such information, important and small informations are are covered already. So should I go ahead now? Should I?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. So the next topic is function. So what you can do is, instead of writing this code 10 times, if we need to use this for 10 times, suppose I want to run it for 2 times only, right? And instead of W, I have another list also called R. R has something else, some other list of names. Suppose it has ABC, then another is DEF, we have XYZ also. This is the another list. So I don't want to write the entire program again for R. So what I can do is, I can write here function called, and it starts from def compute. This is the function, and for function there will be a bracket and colon. Again, if colon is coming up, so entire data will be coming under this compute function. So you need to shift the entire program towards right side with one tab. Okay, so it will be one tab here, it will be a 2 tab here, because anything which is coming under for is coming with the proper space, and this spacing, the maintenance of this spacing is called as indentation. Let me write that word, indentation. This is the word that we are talking about, the syntax, right? So syntax in Python will be handled with the help of indentation. So indentation will be properly required here in Python to write the programs. Okay, so one gap means that you're working under this particular command, you're working under this particular command, under this particular command. Likewise, you're working under this if, and this if is working under for, and this for is working under compute. Okay, so what we'll do here, so instead of W, what we can write here, data, we can write here data, and we can directly write here data also. So here this is called as function definition and declaration, and function definition and declaration must be always on top of the program, and after the program after the proper definition of the function. So what you can do, you can call that function further. Okay, so to call that function, we need to call the name of the function that we have built, compute. Within that, we need to write which list do we need to execute, W or R. So I have written here W. So W will be passed to this particular place, and this place is called as data here. Okay, so data has been replaced with W will be coming here. It means this program will be running for W, and same program you want to run it for R, then you can write here R. So imagine if this program will be quite long, for 100 number of lines. Will you be able to write the program again and again for 100 different regions? No. You'll be using the same program, same function, or you'll be writing couple of functions for not to repeat the same process again and again in number of lines of code, so that your code should be little faster, and the amount of time that you're required to get the answers done will be less also. Okay, so let me save it and run this program. The answer would be coming same.
Can we use multiple arguments also?
Yes sir, you can use multiple arguments in
data.
Yes sir, you can use multiple arguments. You can return the arguments also. You can return any particular data also. You can, here in Python, you can return n amount of data as well. Like in C language or other language, we could return only one single data at a time from a function. But in Python, you can return 10, 20, n amount of data as well. Okay. So like we have 4 definition of function, na? Arguments and return type. So n amount of arguments could be applied, n amount of return types can be returned back. Okay. So compute R, R was A, B, C, D, E, F, like that, right? Okay, so I will be writing ABC. Suppose ABC is available and wonderful is coming up. Okay, now let me show you. Suppose you are writing here data comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, just to show you whether some parameter can be used. A comma B comma C and some A, B, C I have written just as blank, B just as blank, C just as blank. So does not matter. I'll save it and run it once again. Okay, so you need to write here some, with some variables like P is equal to, likewise Q is equal to, Q is already used, so U is equal to, O is equal to, and L is equal to. Yeah, so let me save it and run it now. What happened? Any bracket, any comma that we have missed? Okay, so here also we need to type couple of things here. If you will remove this thing initially, comma, you need to call, because see, initially we were using only one single variable and then we have written here 4 arguments. So here also we need to type, sorry, let me paste it here instead of these variables directly. It's another example just to show you whether how many parameter can be written or given in arguments. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 direct values can be applied to these, not 4, 1, 2, 3. These values can be applied to these 3 variables. Okay, and these are numbers. Here it is string. So we need to keep string also here. However, the program is unaffected. But here you understood that you can take an amount of variables as an argument. If you want to return something, you can write here for return. Return. Suppose you are going to return thank you, comma 112, comma yes. 3 values will be returned and will be stored in a variable called suppose P, not P, suppose K. K is equal to compute this. So I'll save it and I'll print it first. Print the value of K. I'll save it and run it. See, thank you, 12 and yes. These 3 values are returned. Okay, these 3 values are returned.